When I first started playing music, few people thought I would last 15 years, but I'm so glad tonight to prove them all wrong and have all of you here as witnesses to that. And I really think in the DIY community, we should celebrate things, celebrate achievements and people making things and our friends making things and ourselves as well. And so it's so good to have you all here and to be up here doing this. And all right, I'm going to play a bunch of songs. We're going to go through the history of me making music. And a lot of these songs are ones you don't hear very often at an Andy Paine gig these days. And I'm going to tell some stories as well. So we're going to start in early 2008, right? So this is before the 15 years of playing gigs. I had played in bands and played other songs, but this is maybe the first song I ever wrote specifically for an acoustic guitar. And it's also one of my first memories, clear memories of writing songs, right? It was Valentine's Day, 2008. As usual, I was at home listening to the radio, and it was FBI community radio station in Sydney, and the guy played a song that had just been given a second life by being on a soundtrack of a film that had just come out, Juno, and he played the song All I Want Is You by Barry Lewis Polisar. Hands up if you know it. Yeah. And I was listening at home, I was like, damn, that's it. That's the music I want to make. It's like simple, it's acoustic, it's fun, funny, you know. That's the kind of music I want to make. And so anyway, the song finished and I get out my guitar and I'm like, okay, I'm going to write a song. And I wrote this and I was so excited from just the creative expression of writing a song. I did not sleep, hey. After this song, after hearing it, you'll know it's not a masterpiece, but like, just the excitement of purely making something. I could not get to sleep till literally 3 a.m. And at the time I was like working, you know, like trades and stuff, and I had to be up at 6 to get to work or something. And so, but that joy, the joy of making something, I totally remember. And so, this is maybe where it all began. She breathes fire, not metaphorically, but literally. I met her in Coles, she was buying kerosene and a box of matches and I was in love. And she's not everyone's cup of tea, but she's the girl for me. And when I brought her home, my mum kinda freaked, cause she's certainly a unique girl for me. Works as a waitress, the boss says you're not presentable enough. So she got a haircut and came back with a mohawk and she dyed it green. There's no nose for safety pin, she looked real cute. She's not everyone's cup of tea, but she's the girl for me. And sometimes people stare when we walk down the street, cause she's certainly a unique girl for me. She likes punk rock, we went to see Pennywise, and she took the stage dive into my arms. And some guy said, mosh pit ain't no place for little girls. I think you should be somewhere else, she's back in your space. And then she's not everyone's cup of tea, but she's the girl for me. And she looks hard, but on the inside she's real sweet, like a fantail lolly, girl for me. We're gonna get married, and at the ceremony, we'll have fire breathing and a punk rock band to play the wedding march, and they'll smash their guitars or give them rings. And she's not everyone's cup of tea, but she's a girl for me. And me and her, we're gonna live happily for eternity. She's a girl for me, she's a girl for me, yeah, she's a girl for me. She's a girl for me, she's a girl for me. Thank you. It wasn't a real person, unfortunately, some would say, but I did get married in the end, and coincidentally, one of the songs played at our wedding was All I Want Is You by Barry Lewis Polisar, which is... I didn't choose it, you did. Anyway, who knew that song would be have such an influence? But anyway, all right. So around this time, 2008, I've started writing songs, but also I'm getting interested in politics, right? And wanting to do activism. And it also happens that at that time there's a significant global political event. Does anybody want to say what happened in 2008? Significant global political event? There you go. You get a prize, cup of chai for you. Global financial crisis happened, and here I was sitting at home, and I wasn't really doing activism because I lived in the suburbs and worked and whatever. But I was like, I'm going to write a song for this global financial crisis. So I wrote this song, and it was designed to be a sing-along. I'm not sure who I imagined was going to be singing along to a song called Capitalism Sucks at that time, but I do invite you all to sing along with it now. And it also comes with a story because the first gig I ever played as a solo artist, right, I was back in my hometown of Mudgee for Christmas, and I see that they're having this folk festival in Golgong around New Year's. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I could play at that. I haven't played any solo gigs. I'm like, maybe I'll just call up and see. And so I did, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll put you on, sure. No demo tapes prior, nothing. And I'm like, oh, sweet. And so I go, and I'm in conservative Western New South Wales here, and I get up on stage and I sing my songs. Some of them are silly like that one, and some of them are political, and one of them is Capitalism Sucks, with a very repetitive chorus that says Capitalism Sucks. And after the song, I had a couple of songs left in my planned set, but at the end of that song, the guy comes up and he's like, oh, thanks Andy Paine. But anyway, I hope nobody's going to do that this time because I've got more songs planned. But this one's Capitalism Sucks. Capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks. You rape and you pillage, you take and you take. You screw up and everybody pays. Make your profits by exploitation, then inflate the market with your speculation. How can the fortunes of the whole world rest on people who spend money that doesn't exist? Now the rich are complaining but the poor are still poorer. Maybe it's because the system's flawed and capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks. For 700 billion we could easily end once and for all world poverty. Wouldn't that be lovely? But instead they give it to the people who created this mess. So in a few years time we'll do it all again. Start counting down the days till the next recession. A never-ending cycle of boom and bust. When will people realise that enough is enough and that capitalism sucks? Capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks. Let's do the key change. Capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks. It really, really sucks. Thank you. All right, so we're skipping forward a year, it's 2009 now, and I have played a solo gig. And a more significant moment occurred in my life, which is that I'd sort of started doing political activism. And me and a group of friends, a friend came up to me and she's like, I want to start this thing for human trafficking. We're going to raise money and awareness, and it's going to be called The Sound of Silence. And do you want to be involved? And I was like, yeah, I do. This is like my whole life's dream, but I didn't know until now how to do it, really. And so we did these events, and yeah, it was really significant. Definitely changed the course of my life. But I also wrote this song for it because we were doing these little concerts. And so the event was called The Sound of Silence. I wrote this song called The Sound of Silence. And yeah, again, I can clearly remember writing the song. I wrote the song, and then I was really like excited and happy that I'd written a political song that I liked, and I thought it was, you know, potentially going to impact people. And so I got my housemate, who was not politically motivated in any way, and I played him the song, and I said, "What do you think?" And he says, "Well, you know, I'm not interested in any of that political crap, but that's a good song." And so I knew I was onto something. Anyway, and so I played it, and I've been playing it. I don't play it so much these days, but I played it a lot of times. Also, this song, the first time I ever heard somebody else cover one of my songs, it was this song. And that, if you're a songwriter, that is like a spine-tingling moment, right? Hearing somebody else sing one of your songs, actually, is that I definitely recommend it. And I'll be lucky to hear a few other people sing other versions of my songs and other versions of this song over the years, and actually have a tribute concert organised for my birthday last year, which was very sweet. But anyway, this song is Sound of Silence. I am a girl, 13 years old, I work in a factory. The days are long and hard, making clothes hunched over my sewing machine. The people ask my dad why the people who buy these shirts we never see. And how can they need so many clothes while we don't have enough money? He said they live in a world very different from ours, where iPods and televisions play very loud. Hard to understand, but in a world with so much noise, it's very difficult to hear the sound of silence, the sound of silence. I am a boy, 12 years old, I work as a soldier, fighting for the Lord's Resistance Army in Uganda. I was taken from my home after watching my family die. Now I'm the one with the gun, but I have to survive. Sometimes I wish I died with my family. Every night I'm haunted by their screams. When I'm all alone, I cry out to the night, but the only reply I get is the sound of silence, the sound of silence. I am a man, 36 years old, I work in the city, in an office on the 15th floor for a multinational company. I make good money, but I'd like a bit more. I work hard to earn my pay. I don't like unions or do-gooders. All they ever do is complain. Don't blame me for problems I did nothing to cause. It's not my fault if I was born rich and someone else is poor. If I ask questions, I'll only get answers that I don't like. So I found that the safest option is the sound of silence, the sound of silence. In our world, injustice lurks around every corner. The problem doesn't go away if we ignore it. To do nothing is to be complicit in the crime, 'cause there's nothing as destructive as the sound of silence, the sound of silence. Thank you. All right, let's try to get this closer to the mouth of the guitar. Actually, it might be a bit louder now. All right, so that was it. I was a political songwriter from that moment on, and when you're talking about politics, there's a lot to talk about, and so my early songs were experiments in how many words you can cram into each line of a 3-minute folk punk song. And this is an example of that, early style. It's also, it's interesting. It's about refugees, which was the first political rally I ever went to. It was about refugees, and it's been one I've gone to many since then. But also, it's interesting when you write political songs, like who you're writing for. Like in this song, there's a line that says, like, about our workmates, saying we should send them all away. And I remember after I'd started sort of going to the inner city and playing for people in the music scene, they were like, "What? Your workmates are saying you should send away all the refugees?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I know." It's like, well, they weren't apparently, so it's interesting. I guess the way that music's changed from me writing to like the totally unschooled political people or something to like writing specifically for kind of activist subculture, which is a role I've kind of taken on, and I guess I don't mind it. But anyway, this is an early one. Oh, and another story I want to tell about this. Somehow or other, in 2009, I got the idea. Oh, we're getting a bit of feedback. Should I put this down? Point it away a bit. Maybe that's a bit better. Friends is going to do it. I got the idea that I was going to do a festival at my house. Do you want to turn the fold back off? Just turn the fold back off. It's the blue knob. Sorry, I got the idea that I was going to organise a festival at my house called Radfest. And I got all my friends. I knew quite a few people who were musicians, and I got us all to come and play at this festival at my house. And I don't know how I got the self-confidence or the creativity to do this, but damn, it was a good idea, right? And I got to get your friends together and all play music at your house. It was so good. And this is one of the songs from that era of like, there were 3 Radfests over 2009, 10, and early start of 2011. Anyway, and this one got to play there. Oh, how's it go? Well, I guess it must be an election year because the issue of border protection's here, and our leaders are trying to prove their credentials as Australia's big tough coastline defenders. The conversations in our workplaces saying we should send them all away, trotting out all the usual lines about protecting our own and our way of life. But if it's Australian to turn away a brother in need, then maybe I'd say that it's probably nothing worth saving anyway. But I thought in a way they might be right. These refugees are just averting our eyes. But even if we let them in, it does nothing to address the real problem. So I went to Iraq to try to see what these refugees were trying to flee. I found cities that lay decimated and shrapnel that was marked Australian made. And we all say that we wish this problem wasn't ours. Politicians seem to forget Jesus was a refugee. They like the Bible verses that are anti-gay, but not the ones about love thy neighbour. It's a funny kind of logic that says we need safety at everyone else's expense. So we can say to a refugee, you might be safe at home, but you can't stay here. How is it that we draw these lines that divide to dehumanize? But surely we were all both people once. And it's a worrying thought that maybe when there could be us that are refugees, risking our families' lives on the sea, relying on the grace of other countries. Will they remember that the issue is complicated? National safety and population. Or will they recall a hostile reception to detention centers and their barbed wire fences? And we all said that we wish this problem wasn't ours. but this problem isn't ours. All right. My earliest musical inspiration probably was Billy Bragg, right? Total legend, and folk punk. He, gave hope to everybody who isn't very good at singing in tune, but still wants to be a folk singer. But at this point in 2010, I discover American kind of modern folk punk, and Pat the Bunny especially was a big inspiration, and other people like that. And it changed my music. I started definitely strumming harder and yelling a bit more. But and this song is very Pat the Bunny inspired. So I wanted to note that, a kind of acknowledgement of music inspiration. But the other thing about this song, the reason I picked it, is because I've written songs in lots of places over the years, right? You never know when inspiration's going to strike, and definitely being out doing activism is a real inspiration for writing songs. And so sometimes you're in a random place and it's like, yeah, I've got a song coming through. This one was written in the watch house after one of my first arrests, and the watch house isn't that convenient a place to write a song because there's no pen and paper. So you've got to keep it kind of short so you can remember all the words. But other than that, you've got a lot of spare time there, okay, to refine those lyrics. So I do recommend it. And so, and it was inspiration as well. Getting arrested was an inspiration for this song. The day I was arrested was the first day I could justify my actions morally. The day I went homeless was the first day I was proud of what I owned and what I'd achieved. Today is the first day, is the first day I stop pretending, start acting. Today is the first day, is the first day I start living what I believe. I quit my job was the first day I learned what it means to be free. Today society rejected me was the first day I could be proud of the company I keep. Today is the first day, is the first day I stop pretending, start acting. Today is the first day, is the first day I start living what I believe. Thank you. Where are we up to? We're jumping forward to 2013. Actually, around that time, when I was arrested in Rockhampton writing that song, a fella called Brian Law was in Rockhampton at the same time, and he was saying, telling the newspaper, everybody standing up in the middle of town saying, I'm going to smash an American military helicopter because they're going out and causing all this destruction overseas, and they're coming here for terrorism safe exercises. I'm going to do it. So anyway, people sort of ridiculed him and whatever, and there was actually a front page of the Rockhampton Morning Bulletin on one day was this picture of this really nasty looking police dog, and the front page article was about how this is the dog that the police are going to sick on Brian Law if he tries to smash a helicopter. Literally no joke, it was a front page. And anyway, so I actually got arrested with Margie, who's here somewhere. We got arrested at that time. We walked onto the military base, and we're sitting in the watch house. We go into court, we come back, and there's Brian in the watch house with a big smile on his face. And we can only see him through the screen, but I was like, I think he did it. He did do it. And so anyway, I wrote this song 2 years later. That was part of a tradition of actions called Plowshares Actions, which I'd found very inspiring. And like a folk singer, I wanted to tell these stories to people. And so I was like, I'm going to write the story into a song. And so I started writing this song and about that action and another Ploughshares action that had happened around the same time. And while I was writing, literally like the day I was working on it, I get a message saying Brian has died. And all of a sudden it felt like I had this kind of, it was like this spiritual task or something, making this song to kind of preserve this legacy. It was a really bizarre experience actually, but like, yeah, I felt like, okay, well, I got to share the news. And so that's how this song came about. Oh, and also the chorus of this song is by an English band called Seize the Day. And part of the folk music tradition, right, is that songs belong to everyone, you know? And they'd written it about a Ploughshares action in the 90s. And I was like, well, I'm going to write about these more recent ones. You know, I'll just use this song, right? I'll expand on it. So, thanks, Seize the Day, who I did write to say, hey, is this okay? And they never wrote back, so. Yeah. Brian Law went to Rockhampton, stood up in the shopping mall. He said there's children dying in Afghanistan, dying from Australian bombs. Now you can pretend that it doesn't exist, but I'll go on dying just the same. As for me, I'm gonna resist. They're not gonna kill in my name. Now Brian's not much of a gardener, but it doesn't take a green thumb to put a mattock through the side of a helicopter. And that's what Brian went and done. And he sang, with my hammer I'll break the chains, I will not remain in silence. I will stand and I will defend my right to fight against violence. No prison can contain the freedom that we gain when we move through fear. Sister Megan Rice was a Catholic nun. She was 82 years old. She'd been alive when they dropped the atom bomb and lived through the Cold War. She'd seen mutilated bodies and mutated babies from nuclear weapons and waste. So she and two friends went to Tennessee and walked onto the nuclear base. With a can of spray paint, they put the writing on the walls. Turn your swords into plowshares. They hammered chinks in the wall and poured blood on the floor. Then they knelt down to say a prayer. And they sang, with my hammer I'll break the chains, I will not remain in silence. I will stand and I will defend my right to fight against violence. No prison can contain the freedom that we gain when we move through fear. Now Brian and Megan are only two of countless stories I could tell you today, of people who stood up for their values, knowing the price they would pay. It's not enough to say we want peace and hope that wars will end. To be a true pacifist, you need to confront violence. Now war is $1 trillion industry, but it's ordinary people who die. To put an end to this insanity, ordinary people must rise, and we'll sing, with my hammer I'll break will not remain in silence. I will stand and I will defend my right to fight against violence. No prison can contain the freedom that we gain when we move through fear. Look at that, good as new. All right. I'm gonna keep going through it. So, this one's from 2013 as well. When I first went out to the Lead Forest, where there was a coal mine blockade against the Maules Creek coal mine there. And it was a very significant thing for me actually to go out, because I'd grown up not that far from there in a coal mining town, right? And the coal mines had kind of taken over my town in the times I'd left. And this thing, it was kind of in my head, but I hadn't sort of really grappled with it until I was out there in Western New South Wales doing this. And I actually met Sharon Munro when the first time I went there, who had wrote this book called Richland Wasteland, about Australian communities sort of destroyed by mining. And so I found this place really inspiring, and I ended up spending a lot of time in frontline action on coal camps, that one, and then the next one up in Queensland as well. And this song, I was inspired to kind of delve into my own history and my own place I came from to write this song, which I'm very grateful for. Also, this song is the first one I ever made a film clip for, which, as somebody who grew up watching Rage, it was a real milestone, making a film clip. And we went to Woollahra and shot these things. I was a very inexperienced filmmaker, and it's, yeah, you can tell. But anyway, yeah, this is I don't write, I guess, yeah, that many songs about my own sort of history or something, but it's in, again, activism. Doing activism is the best inspiration for like creative creation, you know. How's it go? I grew up near a village called Woollahra, in the Bylong Valley on the Goulburn River, where recluses, farmers and hippies could live together in a bush community. Along came Peabody Coal, promising jobs and economic growth, bought a few properties in town. Those who didn't want to go were bullied out. First came the divisions, then the noise, the sickness and the pollution. Property prices crashed. People born and bred in Woollahra gave up and left. Woollahra isn't there anymore. They dug it up and hauled it off and left a black hole, written off as an expense and nothing more. We didn't know it would be like this, but now it's gone. I grew up amongst the bush. I would swim in its creeks and walk its rocky paths. It was quiet, but you never were alone. Thousands of species call that forest home. There's healing in those trees and in that soil. The bush contains a wisdom centuries old, speaks truth to our disposable world. not something that can be bought or sold. That bush isn't there anymore. They dug it up and hauled it off and left a black hole, written off as an expense and nothing more. We didn't know it would be like this, but now it's gone. Thanks. I better check the time too. 37. Alright. This song is one, it's never made it onto any albums, and I haven't played it since 2015 or something like that, maybe. I don't know. And it's interesting the relationship you have with these songs, right? Any song I write, like even the ones that aren't that good, I have a kind of attachment to, because they're like it's their own thing, you know. A song is its own thing; it's separate from you somehow, and so I write the song, and then it's there, and it's like, well, that's that song. It's got its own life. And sometimes, if I could, I would go back and write them differently, but generally I leave them. And some of the most popular songs I've written actually were written very quickly. Don't Kill People and I'm Carbon Neutral Baby, between them took about 20 minutes to write. And I would probably change them if I had the time, if I could, but I feel like I can't go back. People like those songs, right? Anyway.
You have a soul now.
But this one I wrote for the Scottish independence referendum, which I think was 2015, or what year was it? I don't even remember. 2013 was it? 2014. Right. Anyway, the referendum happened. They didn't vote for independence, and this song just got retired, right? Because it wasn't relevant anymore, and it just never got played again. And it, like, in a way, it's like, oh, that song. It's kind of sad, but I'm all right with it. Like, a song, again, it has its own life, and some of them are ephemeral, but. It is going to be played again now. I've dug it up out of retirement. And so anyway, it's just interesting to think about this song that I totally almost forgotten about. But I thought I'd give it a new life here. I hope that Scotland votes for its independence from the United Kingdom. And Robert Burns wrote that verse, Scots have with Wallace fled, lay the proud usurpers low. The blood of empires takes a long, long time to wash clean. The stains run deep, and history is not so easy to forget. For those who bear the scars, the injustice of the past. Aboriginals to the slaves of Africa, Turtle Island warriors, and the peasants of India. Tomorrow's children enslaved by the empires of today. May Scotland's freedom song sing out loud and strong. The blood of empires takes a long, long time to wash clean. The stains run deep, and history is not so easy to forget. For those who bear the scars of the injustice of the past. Alright, I mentioned before that I write songs in a lot of different places. Quite a few have been written riding a bike. I find that's a good way to write. And all kinds of random places. Most songs I can remember like where they were written and kind of what the story was, just because of, I don't know, that relationship with them and that excitement or something. But this song was written in my sleep, right? So in Sydney, I was at the Redfern Aboriginal Tent Embassy. Did anybody ever go to the Redfern Aboriginal Tent Embassy? I was there for a while. Jenny Munro, Auntie Jenny was there. And part of the job for us white fellas, right, was to do the overnight security. So if you went along, you sat up at night to make sure, because I did have some issues with people coming in, hoodlums coming in, whatever. And so anyway, I'd sat up and done the overnight security, and it was pouring rain. And nobody came to interrupt my security because it was pouring rain. Anyway, and my shift finishes, and I go and crawl into bed, and it turns out this tent was less waterproof than one might have hoped for. And so anyway, I'm squeezing in the one little dry stretch in this tent, right? And I've been up, it's like 3 a.m. or something, I've been up doing the shift, and so anyway, I fall asleep. And then I wake up in the middle of the night with an idea for a song, and I grab my phone, which was not a smartphone, which you can take voice messages or write notes in. It was like an old dumb phone, and so I had to do a draft text message. And I write down these words, and then I fall back asleep. And in the morning, I wake up, and I'm like, wait, did I write a song last night? Or did I dream that? And I open up the phone, and there it is, this song. So, yeah, the magic of creation. In West Papua, a mother is crying. Another innocent person dead, 50 years of genocide. For this punishment, she cries out, what is our crime? Is it just that we live on top of the world's biggest gold mine? And I know how the saying goes, but surely some things are worth more than just their weight in gold. From wedding rings to gangster bling, we love to show it off. But how often do we how much it really costs? From all of history and to all corners of the globe, the glimmer of gold casts a very dark shadow. And I know how the saying goes, but surely some things are worth more than just their weight in gold. King Midas would remind us never to forget the price of our greed is sorrow and death. And can we really be so easily deceived that one shiny metal can cause so much misery? know how the saying goes, but surely some things are worth more than just their weight in gold. Yeah, I've been told how the saying goes, but surely some things are worth more than just their weight in gold. Alright, how are we going for time? So, when we get to 9 o'clock, for noise reasons, everybody's got to get inside and talk quietly, alright? Otherwise, we get in trouble and we can't have any more gigs like this. Okay, and so, when it's serious, when I finish, it's like, get inside and we just chat, just nice and politely. Alright, I'm going to do, I'm not going to fit them all in. I'm going to do this song. I went 2 years without writing a song at one point. In 2016, 2017, into early 2018, I just didn't write a song. It was like writer's block. I did have an album worth of songs that weren't recorded, but also it was a weird time of my life, I guess, kind of stagnant. It was, I did kind of think, oh, maybe I just don't really write songs, I don't know. And then one day, I was on a train trip from the Gold Coast to Brisbane, and out it came, a song. And yeah, it was a great feeling to be like, oh yeah, all right, I'm back doing this. And I think it's fitting as well that the song, what inspired this whole music thing in the beginning, which was the spirit of DIY, the best gift I ever got from punk rock. And so this song is a tribute to DIY, making your own music, organising your own gigs, getting together with your friends to make stuff. I turned on the radio, I read a magazine, flicked through channels on my TV, it did nothing for me. Just vacuous rock stars, dull celebrities, Hollywood fantasy, fake reality. But the stories relevant to our lives are the ones they never tell. If you want something done right, sometimes you just gotta do it yourself. DIY! I picked up my guitar, started singing a few songs, met others doing the same, decided to put on a show. Our lounge room was the stage, our friends were the crowd, promotion was posters we put up around the town. No one ever came up to me, offering fame and fortune. The options as far as I could see were to sit around doing nothing, or DIY. I've sung a lot of songs since then, played a lot of gigs, wrote down my best ideas in photocopied zines. I've met a lot of people, travelled across the land. The best songs I ever heard were the ones sung by my friends. But you know the music and art are really only the start. Another world is possible, but no one's gonna do it for us. DIY! DIY! Okay, I did say I'd be out of here by 9, but I think we can maybe sneak 2 songs in. Okay, I'm gonna do So I write a lot of political songs, right? This is not going to be the intro, not my intro or another song like that. But it's interesting because I guess it's when you're a political activist as well, you think, what do songs do, right? How do they change things? Is it the best use of your energy or whatever? And ultimately, I think that songs don't really change a campaign. Like, there's other kind of tactics that are better for that. But what songs do is change a person's consciousness and change a person who listens to it, right? And hopefully inspire them to go out and do the things that actually create change. And so, with that in mind, I guess there's a lot of things that are just about us being good people, that we need as well. And so, over the years, I have tried to write songs as well. Besides like the big politics out there, it's like about in here. What kind of people do we want to be, and how do we want to live? How do we want to relate to others and the world around us? And so, I'm going to sing two of them actually now to finish off. This one, I was inspired. I remember one time listening to a couple of songs about forgiveness. One by Ani DeFranco, Angry Anymore, and another one by Narco Medicine for People called So Grateful, or So Thankful. And being like, now these are amazing songs. I listen to a lot of political songs, but these are amazing songs to like change the world, about changing ourselves. And so that inspired this song. I was like, what do I want to write about how we kind of need, how I want to relate to this world and its injustice. So, seen the injustice of the world, seen poverty amidst the wastefulness of wealth, seen species go extinct, our oceans rise, tried to piece back together broken lives. It's enough to make you angry, and anger is justified. But anger never helped me to put anything right. In a world where so much is so wrong, what we need is not anger, it's action. The punk music I love said anger is an energy. Then I found anarchism and said we'll burn everything. But flames of rage become ashes of despair, with no light to spark those embers up again. I felt the rage of drunken violent men, seen hate contort faces into something frightening. Everyone will tell you their rage is just, but it takes courage to say the problem might be us. So I don't dream of being more angry. I ask for patience, clear sight and understanding, and humbly accept my faults, that my actions speak the language of hope. Cause this world can make you angry, and anger is justified. But anger never helped me to put anything right. In a world where so much is so wrong, what we need is not anger, it's action. Alright, thanks so much. This is my last song. Thanks everybody for coming. Thanks Sophie and Franz for playing, and everybody else who's helped out. Thanks to my wife Beck for making chai and being amazing support. I'm going to finish with this song. It's the most recent song I've written actually, and there'll be a new album sometime soon. If you haven't heard enough songs tonight, you can come to Northey Street City Farm on Thursday night, where I'm going to play some music, and you can request songs. I'll play new songs, whatever. But anyway, this song's about gratitude, and I want to play it because it reflects, as well as being the most recent song I've written, it reflects how I feel about 15 years of making music, right? I never got famous. I've never got rich off playing music. I don't have heaps of plays on Spotify or anything like that. And it's every time you try to organize a gig or record an album, it's terrifying. And it brings you down. But still, I'm so grateful for the journey that playing guitar, writing songs has taken me on. I've gone all around the country playing gigs. I've played music with amazing people, amazing musicians. I've had people tell me what my songs mean to them, seen people sing along and things like that. And it's just, I'm just so grateful for the journey. And that's why I'm celebrating. And I'm hoping it's inspired people as well to make stuff, go out there and create. And so thanks everybody for coming again. And remember, when it finishes, quiet and inside. You can give one cheer and then. All right, thanks so much. Hang on, I'm playing the song here.
We're going to cheer while we stand.
This world's full of injustice and heartache and pain, and each day it seems to kick us more. Still I've come out ahead ever since the day I was born through no work of my own. 'Cause I am blessed and I am grateful and I want change, but I try to stay thankful. I am blessed and it's easy to forget, so I stop and savor life's gifts. Air that I breathe is given away by trees. The water I drink falls from the sky. The sun gives me warmth and light and vitamin D, and paints the horizon every night. I'm blessed by the past, complex as it may be, the discoveries and lessons. Centuries of hard work and creativity passed on to future descendants. I am blessed and I am grateful and I want change, but I try to stay thankful. I am blessed and it's easy to forget, so I stop and savor life's gifts. There's no way that we can ever repay all of the gifts we receive, but what we can do is participate in the cycle of generosity. Blessing is a natural state of the world, even when it seems everything's for sale. A world full of people trying to take all they can get, it's a radical act just to say that I am blessed, I am grateful, and I want change, but I try to stay thankful. I am blessed, and it's easy to forget, so I stop and savor life's gifts. Thanks very much, everybody. Thanks for coming.